Listen, if it's one thing that I'm pretty sure we're all aware of is that life is out here moving fast, okay? It's a lot going on. We got society telling us what we should be doing, we should be, all while we're still trying to figure ourselves out. But you know what we can do? We can be mindful of where we are in this present moment and take small steps towards becoming better by the day and towards reaching our God-given purpose. So let's figure it out and work through it together. Welcome to Mindful Moments, y'all. A space where we talk it out, laugh it out, cry it out, hash it out. Listen, just get it all out, okay? This is a safe space for you, where we talk about the ups, the downs, even the in-betweens. A place where we go through it so we can grow through it. Tune in every week as we fill our minds with who we're destined to be, with positivity, with awareness, and honestly, just with love. So I encourage you, let's be mindful of today in hopes for, yes, a better you, but also in hopes for a better tomorrow. Again, welcome to Mindful Moments. Welcome back to another episode of Mindful Moments. I'm your host, Jada Lowe. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, Google, any of the other podcast platforms, thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Whether you're listening or watching, God bless you. So, yeah, I was sitting here for a few minutes trying to figure out how I wanted to start the episode. So, I mean, we here. We are here. Y'all, we are wrapping up the year. We are wrapping up the year. I feel like every time I record like a few episodes, I'm saying how much time has passed and how much further into 2023 we're getting. But we are trucking and moving along, y'all. I mean, trucking and moving along. We're about to be done. We are about to be done. Yeah, I've been life update. Life has been good. Life has been really good. I've been in a state of reflection. Oh, and just to update y'all too, I'm going to be taking the month of December off. So I'll have 2 episodes pre-recorded. More than likely they'll drop on the 11th and the 18th. It would have been the 11th and the 25th, but let's enjoy our holiday. So I'll either do it the 11th. I'll probably do it the 11th and the 18th. And there'll probably be video too. One may be video and one may be audio, but I just want to give y'all a heads up. Still going to be dropping content, but I will be taking that month off to just kind of reflect, pray over the new year, and to just reflect on things that I did good, things I want to improve on. So that's where my headspace is, but I want to let y'all know that. So let's get into today's topic. Today's topic is titled Comfortably Uncomfortable. Say that 5 times fast. Comfortably uncomfortable. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. There have been a lot of lessons that I've had within this year, and one that I've had to get comfortable with is being, y'all, it's a vacuum outside, and it sounds like it's a rumble in the jungle. Anywho, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's been like a recurring theme this year. And I just feel like I'm teed up. I'm teed up right now. I am turned because I've seen my growth, because before I found myself being comfortable according to other people's comfort. Like if something made somebody feel a type of way, or if somebody thought something about me or tried to put something on me, I would kind of conform my comfort into theirs. And as God has had me on this journey of honestly talking to y'all and podcasting has made me realize a lot. It's just grown me into this woman that I'm proud of, and honestly one that I'm still trying to recognize, because I don't really recognize her like that, but I love her, don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to get used to her because it's so different. Like before, like I wasn't like sheltered or anything like that, but I was just always cognizant of how I move. Now I'm learning to move authentically and unapologetically. And that's been feeling really good. And that's come with being comfortable with being uncomfortable. And sometimes you got to be okay with the fact that people not going to like how you moving. People aren't going to like if you're moving true to you. A lot of people may not like that, and that is okay. Get comfortable with that being their perception, yada yada yada, woody woody woo. But yeah, it's got me teed up because I've had to get comfortable with a lot of things that are uncomfortable for me, and I wanted us to talk about that today. But the main things that I've had to get comfortable with that were uncomfortable with me and still kind of make me itch: being confident, being quiet, and being misunderstood. Being confident, more specifically, Godfident, being confident in God, being misunderstood, and being quiet. That being quiet, I'm gonna get into that one. But that being quiet, something serious. So being confident, or being, I put it in my notes of being Godfident, right? Being confident in who God made me to be, who He's called me to be, and what He's cultivating in me and what He's gifted me with. And transparent, in all transparency, as it's related to confidence, I've been a confident person, but I haven't been the most confident person. I wouldn't walk into a room and felt like I could own the room. I didn't walk in, like, even if my head looked high internally, my head wasn't really high. And as when I can't, I'm always referencing this year because this year has been the year where I truly believe I've transformed. When I tell you my confidence is at an all-time high, not like on any type of, not on an arrogant type of time, but on a set apart type of time. Like, I know I'm not better than anyone, but you cannot sit here and tell me that I'm not set apart from anybody. You can't tell me that God hasn't set me apart. And I've been resting in that. I've been resting in what He's gifted me with. And not just that, but acting on it and seeing that He's equipped me with it. And seeing the things that is produced and seeing the things that is cultivated has given me a different type of confidence. Physically, I feel better. Mentally, I feel better, even down to the smaller stuff of like seeing the stuff that I'm capable of doing in the gym, seeing that I'm capable of being disciplined and being consistent, mentally, emotionally, like holistically. I've seen so much transformation, and that's produced the confidence in me. Like, girl, you can do it. Like, walk that walk, talk that talk. And it's created more of a sense of humbleness in me because I know that my confidence in particular was one thing I prayed about this year. Like, I really prayed for it. I'm not saying I never want to be arrogant. Never want to be arrogant. And I'm just not that type of person, just being honest. But I've always wanted to be confident in myself. I've always wanted to walk into a room, and even if it feels like everybody in the room is more qualified than me, to still hold my head up high enough and be confident in what God's put in me and the fact that He's cultivated that room for me. Even if the room isn't for me, there's something for me to learn there. And if it is for me, then I need to hold my head up even higher. And I'm not confident because of me. I'm confident because of Him. And because God shows me things each and every day as to, like, I put this in you, and this is why I need you to get this out. This is why I need you to act on this. This is why I need you to hold your head this high, because the things that I have for you, and trusting that and walking like He said what He said. So that confidence is, I say, get comfortable with confidence, because confidence is something that can be uncomfortable for a lot of people. Being confident in themselves, being confident in your gifts, that can be uncomfortable for you. I wasn't always confident in every aspect. I wasn't always confident, just being honest. But getting acclimated to what your confidence looks like for you, it can be an uncomfortable process, especially if you're used to having your head down, especially if you're used to letting other people speak for you, letting other people speak at you. If you used to sitting in the back, even if you have all the intellect in the world, you'll still let other people who, I'm not gonna say that, who just talk out the side of their neck, say anything. It can be an uncomfortable process to get confident, to be confident in knowing that what you bring to the table matters. What you bring to the table in every aspect of your life matters. And I just want to let you know it's okay to be confident. It is okay to be confident. And what I did personally was I prayed and I asked God to, show me. I prayed this a lot, and this is what I think changed it. I said, help me to see me the way you see me, because it was so hard for me to truly see myself. And yes, I'm talking about like outer beauty, all of that, yes, but even inner beauty. Like, show me the beauty of why you made me the way that you made me. And when you see that, you begin to see that it's different from everybody else, and it is a beautiful thing to be different. But it also comes with growing pains, because you see, dang, I didn't see this all along. I did not see this the whole time. Where was this at? But it's a double-edged sword, because it's like, it's so beautiful to see, but then it's like, dang, I didn't see. And so don't beat yourself up for not seeing it. But when you do start to see it, and when I encourage you to pray that prayer, because when you start to see God when you start to see you the way God sees you, there's a deeper appreciation for him, because it's like, I thank you because you made me in your image. I'm special. And then it's also like you have a deeper appreciation for yourself, and you learn that everybody can't be around that. Everybody, when you're confident, you're more aware of what you let into your space, because you know that you're special and you know that you're set apart. That don't mean everybody can get to you, because some people will try to pull on that newfound confidence, or they'll see that you've stepped into it and they'll try to take it, or they'll try to belittle it to make it be something lesser than what it really is. So be mindful of that. No pun intended. But yeah, just be honest with yourself about where you are as it relates to your confidence. And I feel like you can never be too confident, as long as it doesn't reach a place of arrogance and like thinking that you're just on this pedestal. I don't think you can have too much confidence. I believe confidence is great. And there are also times where your confidence will be tested, where you just step in rooms and you feel inadequate. That is where you just pray more. And sometimes you see how more confidence can get pulled out of you, because you see you either gonna step up to the plate or take a step back or step up to the plate. But yeah, be honest about where you are as it relates to your confidence in yourself. And if you want more confidence, do some of the, I don't want to say some of the cliche things, but do some of the things that you just know will help your confidence. Appearance wise, do the things that you know you can do to take care of yourself. That'll just, I don't want to say automatically, but they just kind of make way to help you be more confident. Take care of your body. Be mindful what you put into your body. Take care of your skin, hygiene, all that type of stuff. And then as it relates internally, do a self-check internally. Journal. Write, journal, read, take care of yourself internally and externally. And that'll breed kind of like not automatic. Y'all know what I mean? Just like an automatic sense of confidence, because you know you're doing what you need to do to take care of yourself. As far as those deeper things, the deeper things and the deeper issues and the roots as to why when you step into a room you feel a certain way, those are the things that you want to be prayerful about, because that's going to require a renewal and a transformation that God will have to reveal to you and show to you. So confidence, it's uncomfortable, especially if you're not used to being confident, or if you're trying to make that transition. It can be uncomfortable, but get comfortable with it. And when you find that confidence, settle into it. And even if it makes other people uncomfortable, leave them where they at. Rest in your confidence. When you find it, don't let go of it. Even if you question it, don't let go of it. So being Godfident and confident in what he's put in you. Another thing, being misunderstood. Even by the people closest to you, when you're misunderstood by them, that is probably one of the most uncomfortable things ever. And I say that because I've been through it, and I feel like in a way I'm still going through it. I am in a space where nobody understands what I'm trying to do but me and God. I don't say that in a way where it's like stuck up. I say that in a way of that just being what it is. Nobody can see what I see because God's only given me the vision to see that. And so when you try to tell people that, it can come with them misunderstanding it. But when you're on a different type of time, you start to get comfortable with the uncomfortability of being misunderstood. They got this vacuum cleaner going out here, and it's one of the suction vacuum cleaners, going out here like it's no tomorrow. But that is okay. We gonna get it done. Being misunderstood. Everybody won't understand, and know that that's okay. It's going to be comfortable that everybody doesn't understand, especially if in one season everybody was on board, everybody understood, everybody was supporting. But now it's like everybody's just misunderstanding where you're coming from. Nobody wants to understand, or they're trying to get you to see it a different way. That not that you don't want to see it, but that's not what it's supposed to be. Some things are meant to be understood. Some things aren't meant to be understood until God moves through you. When I heard that, it changed my perspective. It's like, I don't even want to give an analogy. This is the best way I can explain it. You have a vision let's say you have a project and it's only you can finish it. No team needed, just you and God. And so you're trying to tell people about this project because you can see the end result. But when you tell people about it, they say, oh, it's too big, or it's not realistic, or maybe you should try this and then do that. Or are you sure you saw that right? Are you sure that, you got the project, logistics right? And you're like, I know I got this right. But the more you talk to them, the more misunderstood things seem to get. But yeah, I learned that it's okay to be misunderstood. It is okay. Everybody's not going to see where you're coming from. Everybody's not going to interpret things the way you interpret it. In a vision that God's given you, you can't expect everybody to see it with their eyes when they were never meant to see it in the first place. And a lot of the times I feel like God gives us tailor-made visions so that way, even in the process of being misunderstood, when it comes to pass, people are able to see a different and greater side of him. Yeah. That idea, the idea of being misunderstood, is one of the biggest things that I struggle with. Mainly because I know my intent. I know what God's told me, but even back to that first thing, like I know I have good intentions. And so when somebody misunderstands that, it's like, I didn't say that, nor do I mean that. And it's like, why can't you see what I see? We just don't have the same lens, baby. I love you, but we don't. We just aren't meant to see it the same way. And you're meant to see it at a time where it's finished. I can't explain to you the process. I barely understand it myself. But I know that it's going to happen. But as it relates to trying to get people, sometimes people just won't be on board. Not in a way that's not supportive, not in a way where they're being mean. God help me to say it. We get caught up a lot of the times when people misunderstand in a bad way. But what about when people misunderstand simply because they don't know how to understand? Sometimes the vision that God gives you, if you think it's too big for your comprehension and you've been gifted with the gifts to be able to accomplish it, what makes you think that people who've had a different road than you are going to be able to understand it? It's like being misunderstood simply because they can't they can't understand it. They just simply can't. It's not in a way where you fault them. It's not because they're a bad person or bad people. It's not even because they don't love you. It's just simply because they just, no matter how much you try to explain what God's told you, it's like all they can do is support. That's it. They can't understand it. All they can do is support. So you have to be okay with being misunderstood. And it's kind of hard for me to articulate it even now to y'all because I'm still learning how to work through that myself. As it relates to where I'm going, yes, but just in the simplest terms of being misunderstood, you could say, "Hey, how you doing?" to somebody, and somebody could take that the wrong way. It's like all I said was, "Hey." I said, "Hey, how you?" All I said was, "Hey, how you doing?" But they could just be having a bad day, and that goes back to them just seeing it how they want to see it. I can't help that you took it the wrong way, but I have to be okay with that because when you ask yourself what is your intent at the end of the day and what's the source at the end of the day, that's what I had to remind myself of. And just settling into it's okay if don't nobody understand. And that goes back to being confident. One of the main reasons why one of the reasons why I'm so confident, more specifically purpose wise, no, careful. The reason why I'm okay with being misunderstood is because I'm confident in God and I'm confident in what he told me. That's the only thing that's helping me to see this brighter side of being misunderstood. If it had to do with something that his hand was off of, baby, I'd be in the fetal position under the bed. But I'm okay because it's like, God, I get it. And the ironic thing is being misunderstood has brought a lot of understanding for me. So be okay with being misunderstood. It's going to be uncomfortable. And that leads me to my next one. It's okay to be misunderstood, but being misunderstood is going to show you that sometimes you just going to have to be quiet. There are going to be seasons of your life where God is going to give you things and goals to reach and just seasons that you're going to have to truck through. You're just going to have to be quiet. You're just going to have to be quiet. I've never been, and in a sense, I've been I wouldn't say I've been forced to be quiet, but I just don't waste my breath anymore. I don't waste my breath anymore. You can plaster that on my forehead. I'm not going to waste my breath because I've done that so much trying to get people to see where I'm coming from, trying to get people to see, oh, this big thing. Let me tell you what God told me. And sometimes God be like, Jada, would you hush? Would you be quiet? Because you speaking it to them can sometimes cause your confidence to decrease because when you don't get the reaction that you think or when they don't think of it to be as big as what he's giving you to when you say it and they don't give you the reaction to where they know that it's as big as what God showed you, there we go. Then it's like, wow, well, is it even going to be that? So now you start down it when if you would have just shut up and kept quiet, it would have been fine. And I used to feel guilty for that because it's like I want to share my dreams. I want to share these things even with the people I love, but when you're on, like I said, when you're on a different type of time and when you're just on a different path, period, sometimes you have to be quiet. You have to learn how to put them two lips together and just let them vocal cords stop vibrating for a few minutes. Even if you feel the unction to want to say something, even if you're 1,000% sure that it's going to happen, be quiet. Be quiet. And sometimes it even comes down to like the people that you love, your family, your friends, all of that. You want to tell your village that you know what you got going on. But there have been a lot of times where I've told people what was going on in my life and they came back to check back in and I had made nothing shake. I didn't make nothing shake because sometimes even when you project it out, it hinders your progress. Because for me, now it's like, oh, now I got to do something. So now I'm thinking about how to do it and I never get it done. We talked about that, didn't we? But I've learned the beauty of just being quiet. And I have been so at peace. I've been so at peace. Even when people try to get stuff out of me to see what I'm doing, I use my famous phrase. I say, I'm taking it one day at a time. I don't say that as in I don't know where I'm headed. I say that to tell you the truth. Baby, I'm taking it one day at a time. And you can't tell everybody, because another thing that I've noticed is that people will try to project what they think you should do, what they think what's best for you because they have your best interest, or they'll try to project their experiences or what they couldn't do and their fears onto you. I don't think we realize how much power the tongue holds, y'all. Like, do you know, like, when people are speaking to you and you tell them your dreams and then they speak back at you based off of their life? This don't have nothing to do with you. And sometimes you could be coming to this person for encouragement and they may not even know, but through their lens, through their experiences, they're telling you what they think is best for you. And I got to the point where I've learned the beautiful, y'all, side note, sometimes I just forget certain words. I just forget the words. I've learned the art, such a simple word. I've learned the art of zoning people out. I really have. And that's the confidence really helps with being misunderstood and being quiet, because when people try to, you know how, for my college people that's listening, when you ask people, they ask you the famous line, what you majoring in, and let's say you say pre-med. Oh, well, you don't seem like you'd be a doctor. You seem like you'll probably be in, like, maybe sports or business management or something. Zone them people out. That's why you just can't. I'm starting to stutter because it gets me so teed up. Like, I'm not telling you, and nor am I asking you what you think I should be doing with my life. If I wanted your opinion, I would ask for it. There's a time and a place for that, and I still may not even accept it. I'm not saying it to be snooty. I'm just saying some people just can't talk to, and sometimes you have to be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. Being quiet blocks you from negativity. Being quiet blocks you from people putting their projection onto you. That gets my gears going, because I'm still trying to be quiet because there's so much I want to share, but I know if I share certain things, it'll lead to something else that'll cause the conversation to go somewhere that I never wanted it to go. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. And sometimes it's not always negative. Sometimes it's just because if when it comes to dealing with the people you love, you have to be quiet because they can project their bias onto you. They want what's best for you. So in the process of you telling them these big things that you want to do, they may want you to play it safe. If you know you're taking a risk, it may be best if you do one or two things. Share it with them, see how they receive it, and if it's not on that type of time, not in a way where it's constructive criticism, but when it's in a way that can halt your progress or cause you to doubt and question yourself, now you know when to be quiet. There are some instances where you'll just know to be quiet off the bat, but others, if you just feel like you just gotta tell somebody, that may be more of a sign to be quiet. But anyway, if you just have to tell somebody, don't say the whole thing. Give a little snippet, a little screenshot of the situation, and see how they respond. And sometimes just let people be supportive with the generic information that you give them. They'll say, "Oh, I'm working on a project. Oh, I'm planning. I'm working on this idea." When they ask what it is, that's when you have to get into how big it is, what all you got to do, and that's where they can start. It's getting me tired just thinking about it. Just be quiet. Because it can be the reason why I put being quiet as one of them, because it can be uncomfortable being quiet. It really can be, especially for some of y'all, if you got a big mouth and you just got to tell everybody I love you, but that just may be how you're wired, babe. If you just got a big mouth, for some people, and for others, if it's just like you just genuinely want to share it. You just genuinely want to share it. It's like, dang, I want to tell my people. I'm not saying tell everybody. Just tell the people that your support system, what you got going on. And then you see you can't do that. That's uncomfortable. And then you have to get comfortable with the fact that they may feel some type of way with you withholding stuff from them. That goes back to being misunderstood. But in due time, it'll make sense. It'll make sense. And while it felt like it at first, I wouldn't say it was a harsh reality that I had to learn these things. I'm lying. It was a wake up call to realize that these were the things that I've had to get comfortably uncomfortable with. Comfortably is a word, boy. Comfortably. These are the things that I've had to get comfortably uncomfortable with. Thumbs up, Jada. But yeah, just being my biggest one out of all three. Honestly, they're all equal. They're all equal. Because they all work in tandem. They all work in tandem. But I feel like when you put being confident at top, the other two, it helps the other two. And ultimately all three of those have helped me to outgrow how I used to operate, because all three are completely against just who I used to be as a person. I was confident, but I wasn't the most confident. I wasn't like step into a room and own it confident. And that part, like, that's still a journey too, but it's when I tell you it's shot up, my confidence has shot up. Being misunderstood, I always overextended myself to make sure people understood where I was coming from. And being quiet, I just always wanted to share what I had going on, like, with my people, because I just wanted to share it. I just wanted to tell people what I had going on. And having to take all of those and flip it to being crazy confident, changing how I view myself, asking God to help me to see me the way he sees me, being okay with being misunderstood, and being quiet, it's bred a peaceful life. It has in turn bred a peaceful life. And I wanted to share that with y'all. I try to make sure the things that I'm going through and the lessons I'm sharing with y'all as I learn them. I don't ever want to really share. And I know some things I'll have to share in that were past tense, but this is something that I'm still working on and through. And so I just want to, if you're on YouTube, you can see how I'm looking. It's the vacuum. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm still working on it. And so those are three things that I wanted to bring to the table to y'all to be mindful of as it relates to getting comfortably uncomfortable with certain things in your life. Because I feel like all of these apply to everybody. Being confident in who God's called you to be. It's being okay being misunderstood, because when you're set apart, you realize some of the things that you do are different from how everybody else does them, and that's okay. And just being quiet. Read the room. But I want to encourage you that you can do it, that you can be confident, you can grow in confidence, you can be okay with being misunderstood, and that you can. I think I have faith in y'all, especially for everybody, for my people out there who just like to, who like to chatter off at the mouth. I don't know what I just said. You can be quiet. I challenge you in this season to keep your mouth shut. Every time you want to say something, especially if you know you're working on something, just hear me. Hear me saying, be quiet. That's what I had to say to myself. Sometimes I say, Jada, be quiet. I say this to myself a lot. I go, Say that to yourself. But yeah, I want y'all to know that y'all are capable of doing it. And don't feel guilty for doing these things. Please don't feel guilty. Oof, it's been a task to not feel guilty. But you get to a place where you get over that hump and you move in it unapologetically. And that's what I strive for us all to get to, so we can be better and do better as we go to these seasons that we want God to take us into. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and catch me, like I told y'all, I'll be taking the month of December off, but you'll hear some more episodes. But anywho, I'm learning, and I want to share what I'm learning with y'all so that y'all can learn too. Know that you're capable, know that you're worth it, and know that Jada loves you be mindful in this holiday season. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mind. I know for some people, seasonal depression may kick in. I know for some people, you may have lost loved ones, or you're just going through a season. I know the holidays can be, while they're a joyous season, I know that they can also be a tough season for some of us to go through. And so I encourage you, may your spirits be lifted. I'll be praying for you. I love you, and just be mindful in this season and take care of yourself. Be a little more tender with yourself. Take care of yourself, and know that I love you, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mindful Moments. I want y'all to remember this. Take it one step at a time. Know that you're capable. Know that you're worth it. Be intentional and know that everything you need to accomplish the things you want is already inside of you. But look, y'all, the podcast doesn't end here, okay? Be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at O_Jada. That's O with 3 H's _JADA. You can see the visuals from past episodes and segments, and maybe even some teasers for upcoming episodes. And be sure to follow and like Mindful Moments on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and even Google Podcasts. And as you go through your day, remember to be mindful of today in hopes for a better tomorrow. I'll see you in the next episode.